Okay, hi there and welcome to another in our series of Chains of Reasoning videos. We take a single topic and a single question and look at how you can build an effective chain of analytical reasoning to really score top marks on KAA in your economics exams. This short video is on contestable markets. Here's the question: analyze how firms might be affected by increased contestability. I'll take you through one particular chain of reasoning answer. Always good to start with a definition. Let the examiner know exactly what you mean by a contestable market. It's an industry which exists when there is freedom of entry and exit into a sector, and it's determined by the fact there are limited or no sunk costs of production. A sunk cost is a cost that you can't recover if you decide to leave the market. Well, in the absence of actual competition or the threat of a rival firm coming in, an unregulated firm, perhaps a monopoly, could maximise profit where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. But if a market becomes more contestable, and of course you're linking back to the question, which is good, perhaps through a policy of liberalisation of a market, bringing down those barriers to entry, perhaps through cutting import tariffs, through some sort of free trade agreement, then competitive pressures will keep prices down. Instead of profit maximizing, the existing firms in the contestable market would have an incentive to cut their prices, perhaps as low as the level where just normal profit is being made. You'll then need to tell the examiner what normal profit is. Normal profit is at an output where price, average revenue, equals the average cost. We include normal profit as an opportunity cost of production. So at that point, firms are making just enough profits to stay in the market, but without attracting the attentions of rivals, of course, who can come in and out depending on the profit margins, the profit signals. And the actual and threatened competition intensifies also the incentive for businesses to control their own unit costs, for example, by avoiding any x-inefficiencies, by avoiding any managerial productive slack, allowing their fixed costs, for example, to rise beyond an optimal level. So this is one way of explaining how firms could be affected by contestability. There's pressure on them to get their prices down and also their unit costs down. Contestable markets typically will have a lower profit than monopoly because of both actual competition and, crucially, the threat of new competition coming into the market. Here's an analysis diagram you could use to really support your point. The profit maximizing output is Q1, where MR meets MC, and they could charge price P1 and make a large profit there. However, the contestable nature of the market might cause firms to price closer towards P2 rather than P1. And at that price, unit cost equals price per unit. Only normal profit is being made at output Q2. So a good analysis diagram would really help cement your chain of analytical reasoning. In terms of paragraph length, it's important to build a good chain of reasoning. We're looking at a paragraph length of somewhere between, let's say, 8 to 10 lines. Write a chunky paragraph. Here it is in summary, which allows the examiner to really get those KA marks flowing for you, get to those higher levels. And I've put in blue here some of the key terms that you might want to put into that paragraph to demonstrate to the examiner that you have a really good grasp of your microeconomics. Okay, thank you for joining in this video.